Statistics show that only 25% of people will stick to their New Year's resolutions just after a month. And studies indicate that it takes about 66 days for a new habit to become automatic. The difference between success and failure in many cases is discipline. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't watched my videos before, then hi, my name is Fleur. This is your space for all things self-development, where we focus on growth, mindset, and helping you to become the best version of yourself. We often hear the word motivation thrown around as a key to success. You know that spark you feel when you see a motivational quote and then suddenly it's 3 a.m. and you want to reset your whole life and clean your whole bedroom? We've all been there. But that motivation is fleeting. On the other hand, we have discipline, who is the engine that will keep you going no matter how you feel. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through 8 steps to becoming disciplined so that you can stop waiting for motivation to help you create the life of your dreams. So let's get straight into the video. Step 1 is to set clear and specific goals. First things first, before we even begin with any other steps, you need to set clear goals. Discipline will thrive when you know exactly what it is that you want to work towards. The issue is with motivation is that you have to have that spark in order to understand what goals that you want to work towards. But having that discipline will help you no matter whether you are feeling motivated or you're not feeling motivated. If your goal is vague, like I want to get fit or I want to start the gym, you aren't going to be able to stay disciplined. That's just a motivation to stay fit or a motivation to go to the gym. But being disciplined is taking that vague goal and saying, you know what? I want to go to the gym 2 to 3 times a week or 3 to 4 times a week. That is my goal and that is what I want to stay disciplined with. The clearer you are, the more focused your discipline will be. Remember, discipline without a goal is just busy work. Just as you need discipline to get to your end result, you also do need that goal. That's something that it is that you want to work towards. So if you have been motivated by something, or if you have this motivation to start something, setting that goal and setting those steps and then knowing that that's what it is that you want to stay disciplined for will help you with the remainder of the steps in this video. Step number 2 is to create a routine. I talk a lot about routines on my YouTube channel. I even have a whole playlist dedicated to routines. So if you want to see how you can set a morning and night routine, then you can go to my channel and watch those videos. Discipline isn't about willpower, it's about consistency. I'll say that again. Discipline is not about willpower, it is about consistency. A routine will help you to form the habits that it is that you want to have so badly, and then eventually it will become second nature. Think of it this way. When you wake up in the morning, you know that the first thing that you need to do is to brush your teeth or to make your bed. That has become routine. But how did it become routine? It became routine because every night when you were a child and every morning, your parents said, you need to brush your teeth. It's time to brush your teeth. Make sure you make your bed, or make sure that your bed is made before you leave for school. These are things that your parents were constantly reminding you of. And so because of that, it became a habit. It became routine. However, we don't have that parent any longer. If you're independent, you're living by yourself, you don't necessarily have someone to keep you accountable, then you need to realize that that person has to be you. So instead of someone telling you, you need to work towards your goals, you have to be that person. Let's say you want to go to the gym first thing in the morning. No one is going to come wake you up and say, you need to go to the gym. That's not going to happen. You need to wake yourself up and say, you know what? I don't feel like going to the gym, but I'm going to go anyways because that is what is going to help me to work towards my goals. I'm not going to wait until I feel motivated. I'm going to be disciplined. Routines will help eliminate decision fatigue and make sticking to your goals a lot easier. Step 3 is to break it down into small tasks. Let's say you have this goal that is something that you want to work towards over the next 2 to 6 months. That's not going to be easy, and every time you sit down to write yourself a to-do list of all the things that it is that you want to work towards, it's going to feel nerve-wracking. And so what you can do is you can take one goal and you can split it into a few different sections of things that you know you need to work on, and then maybe within those sections you can create a to-do list of all the things that needs to be done so that you can then complete that section. For example, let's say you have this goal of wanting to write a book. Your goal could then be to write 500 words every day, or break it down even further into chapters or sections. So telling yourself, today I'll focus on chapter 1, or this week I will focus on chapter 1, and next week I will focus on chapter 2. This can be said for anything. If you're working on a dissertation, if you're trying to revise, whatever it may be, just breaking it down into sections and giving yourself a set amount of time to focus on that section. Completing small tasks every day will help you to build momentum, and in the long run will make the overall goal seem a lot less daunting, and it'll be a lot easier for you to work towards it. Because let's say it's week 3 and you've finished chapter 3 and you've finished everything that you wanted to do up to chapter 3, you will then feel motivated to go into week 4 and 5 to focus on chapter 4 or to focus on chapter 5. The same thing goes with revision. When I was younger, I used to find revision terrifying. I never felt productive. I never felt motivated to do it. However, one way I made it so that I would be disciplined is I would break down certain things that I wanted to revise, and I would focus on the different topics or themes, whatever it may be, and focus on one at a time, so that whenever I felt that I was finished with one, I could then move on to the other. And then maybe that next day when I'm focusing on the other, I could do a recap of the one before so that I'm not forgetting the material, and you just keep on going with that schedule. Eventually that's going to become routine for you because you've set those small tasks so that you're always working towards a big goal. Step 4 is to track your progress. Discipline thrives on not just consistency, but also accountability, as I have mentioned before in this video. Just as you need that person to keep reminding you to keep working towards your goal, you also need to be able to track how far you've come along that journey. So not only are you now being your accountability buddy, you're also being that coach that's saying, okay, this is what you've done so far, and this is what you need to keep on doing to get to that end result. Yes, it seems like it might be a lot on your shoulders, but if you want to get to where you want to get to, then you need to act as this person for yourself. When you track your progress, you are actively engaging with your goals, which will help you to get to that end result, as I have just said. It's also incredibly motivating for you to be able to see how far you've come, because although you don't want to rely on motivation, I'm not saying that you can't spark that motivation so that you feel a little bit more inspired to work towards your goals. So being able to see that you've written 4 chapters or you've revised this much of everything that's going to be on that exam is then going to motivate you to carry on writing more chapters or to carry on revising more, so that you know that you're going to go into that exam feeling prepared. In order to track your progress, you can do this in many different ways. So there's apps that you can use. For me, I love to use Notion. It's so easy for me to be able to figure out exactly where I am with my progress of everything that I want to do, but this can be different depending on what works well for you. You can even use journals, which is one of my personal favorites, or just going back to the basics and doing a to-do list every single morning so that you know what it is that you want to work towards. You also need to make sure that you're celebrating those small wins along the way, because that will carry on to help you to stay disciplined. Let's say that you've split your massive goal into separate sections. Maybe with each section that you complete, you can give yourself a reward for when that section is complete. So let's say that you really want to go and get yourself a coffee. You can say, if I finish this first section with these to-do lists that I know I need to complete by the end of the week, then I can go and get myself a coffee because I'm one step closer towards my goal. That's not just going to help you stay disciplined, but it also will spark that motivation, because then you know that you have a reward once you finish those tasks that you really don't want to get started on. Number 5, and one of the most important ones, is to remove distractions. And yes, I do mean your phone. I don't just mean your phone, but I mean anything in your room that will distract you. If this means that you just need to be by yourself without your phone, without anything that you know is going to distract you, then so be it. But try and create an environment where you aren't distracted by everything that's going on around you. One of the biggest killers of discipline is distraction. I know this firsthand, because when I want to get up out of bed in the morning and then work towards my goal, I'll pick up my phone, I'll go on my phone, and that's it. It's ruined, because I'll be on my phone for an hour or two and then I'll realize that I've lost all the time that I wanted to use to be able to go to the gym or do something to work towards my goals. So now what I do is when I wake up in the morning, I turn my alarm off and I don't let myself go on it for at least half an hour. I just focus on everything else I need to do, like making my bed, brushing my teeth, putting my gym set on, making myself a tea or having breakfast, doing everything I possibly can to just not focus on the fact that my phone is there. Then when I know that I'm already feeling motivated and disciplined to work towards my goal, I'll pick up my phone, check what it is that I want to check, and then because I feel disciplined, I'll put it back down and I'll carry on working towards my goal. You have to make that first step. You have to make that first decision to not grab your phone. In doing that, you are already allowing yourself to go one step closer to where it is that you want to go, and you're not holding yourself back. You could put your phone in another room or on the opposite side of your room or in a drawer, somewhere that you know you won't reach for it. You could set a timer for focused work or use the Pomodoro method like I sometimes do, where you work for 25 minutes and then have a break for 5 minutes. Or what I like to do is I work for 50 minutes and then I have a break for 10 minutes. And the more that you protect your time, the easier it will be to stay disciplined. I will just say, if you do one of the Pomodoro methods that I just mentioned, I wouldn't say that when you're on your break you should grab your phone, because then you are actively using your brain. My dad always used to tell me that if you studied for like 45 minutes or however long it is, and then you instantly go and do something that's going to use your brain, like read a book or look at your phone, you're not actually giving yourself a chance to rest, which is why even though you're taking those 5-minute breaks, you don't feel recovered or you don't feel refreshed when you're going back to studying. So he always used to tell me, just go and lie down on your bed, close your eyes, go on a walk, do some stretching. Those are things that you can do that will then allow your brain to actually rest. Number 6 is to develop a growth mindset. Discipline requires resilience, and you are going to face challenges along the way. It's not easy to have this set goal that it is that you want to go towards and not face challenges. For many things in our life, what we want the most is going to be the hardest journey to get there. But when you see setbacks as an opportunity to learn and grow, you'll be much more likely to stick with it and much more likely to be disciplined. So let's say you've had this long-term goal. It's something that you've always wanted to work towards, but every single time you try and work towards it, something goes wrong. And then in your head, you're telling yourself, does this mean that the universe doesn't think that this is a goal that I should have? Or does this mean that this isn't the kind of lifestyle that I should be working towards, that this isn't right for me? I'm going to say to you that the answer for that is no. I know it feels like the whole world doesn't want you to work towards this goal, but that's just because the universe, God, whatever it may be that you believe in, is just testing you to see that you are strong enough to be able to go down that path. So for example, for me, one of my main goals for this year is to work on growing my YouTube channel. And when I first decided to start a YouTube channel, that was a decision that took a lot of confidence for me to do. And I had a lot of setbacks. I would film a YouTube video and then I'd realize my mic wasn't plugged in, so I'd have to refilm it. Or I would be doing some editing and the software would be laggy and I wouldn't be able to edit it in the way that I wanted to. Many things will come up, and many things did come up for me and still come up for me, where I will sit back and think, is this actually what I'm meant to be doing? Am I meant to have a YouTube channel? But those are just the insecurities in my head talking. Of course, I meant to have a YouTube channel, or else I wouldn't have ever had the dream to do so, and I wouldn't be currently reaching people who these videos are helping. Whatever it is that you want to work towards, that dream has been put in your heart for a reason. You want to work towards this goal for a reason, and so don't let the setbacks hold you back from creating that life, because then at the end of the day you are holding yourself back. It's not those setbacks, it's you. You have two paths in front of you. This is the setback in the middle, and you have two paths. You can choose to learn from that setback and walk even closer towards your goal, because now you know how to be even better, or to go away from your goal and to decide that maybe this isn't the kind of path that you should be taking. And so really, you are the person that's holding yourself back, not that setback. That was just put there to help you to become a stronger version of yourself. Instead of thinking, I failed or I made a mistake and I'm never going to make it, change that to, what can I learn from this? With a growth mindset, it will be so much easier for you to stay disciplined, because as I said previously, even if you have setbacks in your life, you are the person that makes a choice whether to allow it to affect you or to boost you. Number 7 is to stay accountable. Remember how I told you have to be your own accountability buddy? Yeah. That's going to be very important on this journey. Discipline is much easier when you have someone else to stay accountable to, which is why when we're younger and we're told by our parents to do the things that we need to do, it becomes a habit because we've got someone telling us you need to do it, and then we've got someone waiting for us to do that said thing. When you know that somebody else is also working towards the same goal, you're more likely to stay committed to it because you want to reach that goal just as much as they do, and it will inspire you, because if you know that they're working on the goal but you're not, you're going to think to yourself, why am I holding myself back when they're pushing themselves to be an even better version of themselves? I should push myself to that limit. This could be as simple as maybe telling your friend that you want to have weekly conversations where you can report your progress on your journey, help each other stay on track. If you don't have anyone to stay accountable to in your life, that doesn't mean that you can't then be disciplined. Let's not make excuses. Instead, I want you to find someone online who inspires you and that has the kind of lifestyle that you want to live. That way, they will help you to stay accountable and stay on track. So for me, one of my favorite YouTubers is Tam Kaur and Alicia Gogan. Both of them are YouTubers that really help me to stay accountable. They help me to stay disciplined. And with Alicia, she posts these really motivational long vlogs, which I love so much. And all the habits that she does in these videos will then inspire me to keep doing all the habits that I need to do in my life. With Tam, I am learning so much from her about how to become the best version of myself, while also watching how she uses that information and actualizes it within her life through the vlogs that she posts. So having these self-development YouTubers that I'm watching daily is not just motivating me, but helping me to stay disciplined because it is a form of an accountability buddy. Number 8, and the last step that we're going to be talking about in this video, is to prioritize your well-being and your mental health. When you have this end goal, this life that you so badly want to live, it's very easy to overwork yourself and burn yourself out, especially if you have that mindset where you think that discipline means pushing your limit. But the truth is, as I've said before, discipline is about consistency over time, and you can't maintain that if you burn yourself out. You need to make sure that you're getting enough sleep, that you're eating well, that you're taking care of your mental health and your physical health. When you feel good physically and mentally, you'll be more disciplined and productive in the long run. Taking care of myself was the biggest thing that I had to do in order to achieve my goals, as well as manifesting and believing that I was capable of doing so. If you are not taking care of yourself, if you are not making sure that you are mentally well and physically well, how can you expect yourself to get to where it is that you want to get to? Yes, you might be fine for the first 2 weeks, but what about the 5th week or the 6th week where you're going to be exhausted and burnt out and you're going to feel demotivated because you're relying on the motivation to get you through what you think is discipline? Discipline doesn't just mean working towards your goals and staying consistent. It also means taking care of yourself along that journey to make sure that while you're taking care of yourself, you're helping the future you to carry on working towards that goal. Really, it's a snowball effect. You take care of yourself now, you know you're going to feel more productive in the long run. Everything that you do, every action that you take, every choice that you decide to make is going to help you on your journey. It's going to either push you or pull you back. And so you really need to be careful. Everything in life is about your actions. It's about what you decide you want to do, whether you choose what time you go to bed or what it is that you eat or how it is that you take care of your mind or your body. Everything will have a wave reaction of how it will help you to either push you towards working towards your goal or hold you back. And there you have it, 8 steps to help you to become disciplined and stop relying on motivation. If you only remember one thing from this video, then let that be that discipline is something that you can develop over time with consistent effort, and it's far more reliable than motivation. It's the foundation for achieving your goals, even on the days when you don't feel like putting in the work. More than anything, you have to believe in yourself. I believe in you, so it's time that you believe in yourself as well, and let's get you to creating the dream life that you've always wanted. If you found this video helpful, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!